After my last video where I felt it was a little bit negative because I have been feeling quite overwhelmed in my collection and I was talking about those sort of feelings, I really wanted to put something slightly more positive out and like talk about all of the great things that are going on in my collection, because there's a whole lot of really good new growth going on right now and I wanted to show it off. I wanted to talk about it to remind myself and you all that even though you might be feeling a little bit overwhelmed, it's always good to look on the bright side and see the positives in things. And so today I am going to be walking you through my plant collection and showing you all the exciting new growth that I've got going on at the minute. Before we get into it though, I want to say if you're new here and you don't know me already, hi, my name is Emma and I make houseplanty content all over the internet. We've got a little Cosmo in the corner. So if you want to follow along on my houseplanty journey and maybe learn something along the way, stick around and watch some more of my videos and subscribe to my channel. If you are not new here, welcome back. I really appreciate you returning. Thank you very much. Let's get started in here because I've got a lot of updates to go on in here. Some changes as well. Sorry, this room is a little bit messy at the minute, but purely a Cosmo thing because I need to basically make it fully pet safe for when we are not about. He's recently really been enjoying plants. He's just down here. Just there. Hi. He's been enjoying plants and very curious about them. And so I've had to be very careful about what I put where. Up top here, things are doing pretty well. My Pallidiflorum, it has put out a couple of inflows here, and there's one here as well. And I guess there's one here too. But I have done absolutely nothing with them. I do have some pollen from Claire's plant. I could probably collect pollen from this one as well because it's polleny. I have some pollen from Claire's plant that I probably could pollinate this one with. Maybe I could try that once this one comes out, but to be honest, I want to like focus on getting the leaves to grow bigger. I know I've got the long ones tied up at the minute, but I would love it to keep growing bigger leaves. I mean, this one is pretty large. It's the one that goes all the way straight down there. So, I mean, it's not insane, but I'd say the growth is pretty good for what it is. Things are doing just okay up here, nothing special. I have recently put my Snow Queen up here. It is getting grow light from the Sansi bulb there when it's on. Usually I've turned it off just to film this a little bit because it's better to see things, but I'm hoping that's enough light for it. It is very new to this spot, so I'll let you guys know if it is too dark for it. To be honest, I wouldn't mind if the leaves kind of continued to grow sort of like half and half like this, because I feel like that looks really cool. Down here, it's pretty much entirely, or mostly white really. I mean, a little bit of brown even, oops. But like, I don't think it'd be the worst thing if it got a little bit more green in it. It wouldn't be a problem, I don't think. Also, this is where I ended up putting the cuttings of my Hoya croniana. I think, because it is so dry. I know someone said you can like pop them in water before you put them in soil. I think I might just like bin them, to be honest. I know that's like not ideal, but do I need to propagate them? No, I don't need to. And if I am being a lot more brutal with my collection because I am feeling somewhat overwhelmed at the minute, maybe I don't need to give myself an extra plant by propagating these. I could just let them go, if that makes sense. So to be honest, this whole section I've kind of had to like push out of the way and up because of Cosmo, because he can get himself up onto this side table here. And so I can't really monitor the growth on these ones at the minute. I think they're doing fine. They seem to be doing fine. It is my Cebu Blue and my Syndapsis exotica. Don't fall more. I'll probably have to re-push that up. It's fine. They're doing great. There's like, they can tolerate pretty much anything. And hopefully, eventually, once Cosmo's hopefully not as into plants anymore, we can have them trail down again and not have to worry about it. That'd be awesome. Oh, in the Acrobar, I know I kind of just showed y'all what was in here the other day because I rearranged it, but I ended up putting my Stefania erecta in this space. And oh my goodness, it's starting to actually put out some leaves, which is super exciting. It did grow like really tall vines. You can see I've cut both of them off. It grew really tall, long kind of vines without any leaf growth. And so I gave it a good trim and popped it under a better grow light. Before it was living on the Vitjo shelves in this room, and that's where it was getting this light. But before that, it was in front of my TV where it was getting no grow light, and I don't think that was good enough for this plant to actually sprout. So now we are in a place where we're actually getting some growth, and it's so stinking cute. The shelves over here have had a bit of a rearrange, and I can talk more about that in an upcoming video because it's mostly for cat purposes. So I'll just be telling you about like sort of updates on these plants as opposed to why they got moved here. But my little pingdom is doing pretty okay. I did lose the Drosera that was here, unfortunately, but that one is still growing strong. I had a purple flower on this one for a little while, and that's died off at this point. And this little Drosera, it's doing okay. I don't think I'm like perfect at it, but it's doing fine, if that makes sense. Oh my goodness, I severely underwatered my Polynera Brogée. What was it, like last week? I think I forgot to water it before the heat wave, and then the heat wave happened, and it was just fully like dry to an almost crisp when I returned. But luckily I was able to save it. Like, I've given it some water now, and I think it dropped 1 or 2 leaves, but it's back in action. It's plumped up. Like, they're actually really resilient. I know Hoyas are fairly resilient to drought, but I didn't realize quite how intensely I let this one get dry before helping it bounce back up. Down here in the cloches, I mean, I know this is probably not ideal for this plant because it needs the fungus gnats, but for Cosmo purposes, it's in here for right now. But this is my OG Pinguicula, and it's producing a baby in there. It's like dividing itself. It lost all of its sort of really big leaves, except for maybe that one. I don't know if it just was getting used to being in my home or what, but it threw kind of a fit and got rid of the big leaves. But to be honest, I don't mind. Like, I'm not mad at that. I still think it's really pretty, and this one has flowered really well for me a couple of times. Hopefully it will flower again soon, but for now, it's just gonna live under here. It doesn't need to be. I think it looks quite cute in there. Oh my goodness, my Scindapsus mayari, I have not taken this off before, is doing so good. Look at that. It is phenomenal growth in there, and because it's in the cloche, it's getting really good root growth as well. I should probably try to like lead these roots down into the soil to grow a little bit better. It stays really moist in here, which is awesome. And I mean, I'll probably have to take it out of the cloche soon because it is getting like a little bit too tall for this space. Yeah, it's definitely, like, it pushes it down quite a lot. So maybe soon this one will have to come out, but I don't know what else I would put in a cloche. I don't have very many small plants at the minute. Oh yeah, I also moved my big fern leaf to this side again because I don't have as many plants on this shelf anymore, and I took the tall moss pole out of that corner. I felt like it needed something to sort of fill that emptiness, and the fern leaf has done the job there. It is getting so long. I almost feel like I need to hang it higher because it's really nice. And you know what, it was hitting me at my head when it was over my desk. So having a bit more space, because I never really like going right underneath there, having more space in that zone is actually really nice. And now that the fern leaf isn't right there anymore, I can kind of use my desk better. But my Polynera, I think I've also let this one get too dry. I think that's going to be a running theme for a lot of the plants in this video, is I've really been struggling keeping on top of water in this heat, but I have let this one dry out quite a lot, and it has cost it some leaves. They've gone like a little bit yellow in there. Like, a lot of the leaves have like started going like this. And maybe not dry like that. I haven't gotten to that point for most of them, but they'll just go yellow in there. And so I have to pull them off so it doesn't look as ugly. There's one there as well. But it's mostly around the base of the plant, the older leaves, so I'm not too worried about it. Maybe I will try to repot this one, check up on the roots, and see if it's doing okay. But it is getting really, really long now, and it's really beautiful in this spot. Oh, here's some more. Keep pulling these off. There we go. But yeah, it's getting really long and nice, and I still love the way it looks, but I think it probably needs a little bit of attention. It's so beautiful though. Like, look at that leaf shape. How can you not love the Polynura? In the living room, we actually have quite a lot going on at the minute. I feel like the first kind of most important thing is my Monstera Thai Constellation leaf. Look at that secondary fenestration in there. Holy cow. It's the first secondary fenestration I've ever grown on my own. And this leaf is still hardening off. You can tell it's not quite as big as the previous one, so it's still sizing up. But it's just so beautiful. And this plant has gotten so big for me. I'm so proud of it. And I absolutely love it. It's just doing so well. It's on a moss pole back here, and it really has attached itself in quite well. I did extend it the other day, and so it's got a little bit more space up there, but it's doing fantastically. I did have to take one of the leaves off of my Anthurium regale, the oldest one. It went super duper yellow. And I know people always say I should take all the leaves off of it and kind of start over from fresh, but I don't want to because I really love how big and beautiful it is. And then I would just have like a giant pot of rocks like down here. I don't want a giant pot of rocks. That's just a bit boring. So I guess I'm just not gonna do that for now. But in there, I don't know if you can see it very well, but there is some root growth happening in this little like cup of, there we go, that's a bit better, in this cup of sphagnum moss we've got here. So hopefully it's rooting a little bit higher up. So in theory, I might be able to like chop and prop it at some point, because it is a really big chunk down there. And so I feel like it might not be the worst thing to like get it to be a little bit smaller, because it is a really massive plant. It's pretty much, I don't think it can get much bigger because this is the only space I have for it. And other than putting it on the floor, like on the ground, I don't have any more space that this could really go in. My begonias down here are doing so well. I actually really love the contrast going on between the begonia Sinbad on the left here and the Thurstonii on the right. I think that looks so cool because they've got very similar shaped leaves, but kind of completely opposite sort of vibe. The Thurstonii has that sort of black veination in it, and it's so smooth and shiny, whereas the Sinbad, the leaves on this one are like textured, almost furry and polka dotted with the white. I just think they look so cool next to each other like that, and they're both growing phenomenally in no drainage semi-hydro. I mean, all of my begonias over here that you can't even see half of because they're just, things have gotten a little bit overgrown lately. To be honest, I should probably take some plants out of this area because like there's just not space anymore. Maybe I should cut the regale back to nothing and have just a pot of semi-hydro for a while, because then I can move the Monstera back into the corner and then have a little bit more room down there. What do you all think about that? Give me your opinions, because the regale hasn't given me new leaves at all this year, which is kind of annoying, because last year it was doing so well. It gave me new leaves left and right, but this year it's not really done anything. So it's like, should I chop it back? It makes me feel really nervous because I haven't really done that with many anthuriums, and so I don't know if it would work well. So what would you do in this situation? Would you chop it back to nothing, or would you keep it as is? Let me know down below in the comments, because I need your help on this. I cannot decide. Or at least I'm scared to decide, because I feel like the right answer is probably to chop it. Should I do it? Let me know. My Warquianum, I probably need to take this leaf off of it, unfortunately, but I think it's starting to pop out a little bit of new growth for the first time in ages. It has been so long since it's given me a new leaf, and so I'm hoping that that helps. Maybe if I take this leaf off, because that's actually really ugly. Maybe if I take that leaf off, then it'll give the plant more energy, because it's obviously trying to sustain this leaf still. And so if I took that off, maybe it would do a little bit better. I could probably also like cut the bottom half of this leaf off, because it is so dry. But I think it might be a humidity issue with the Warquianum and not keeping it humid enough, because I am keeping the semi-hydro hydrated really, really regularly. And so that's kind of the only thing that I can think that it would be. I'm really not sure though. It's just like, I don't know, I really struggle with anthuriums sometimes. And this is one which I think it just needs more humidity than I can give it like in my home at this size. In front of it though is my begonia Sophie Cecile, which is doing so well. Like, look at those leaves. Tell me those just aren't the perfect leaves. They're so cool with the like silvery splotches and the cool sort of, what do you call these? Because I wouldn't call these lobes in this sort of leaves, but like the sort of really funky star-shaped edges. It is really, really nice. And it's got so many leaves in there as well. I'm pretty sure I got it as like a 1 or 2 leaf cutting. And it has just grown phenomenally from here. I probably should chop and prop it at some point and then get a prop back into the bottom, because it is just 1 cutting at the minute. And so if maybe I cut it in half and propagate it. I know I shouldn't be propagating things at the minute, but if it is going to go back into the main plant, I feel like it's worth it, you know? Speaking of begonia propagations, I have recently pulled this out. This is my Don Miller and Maurice Amy joint pot. I recently pulled this out and I've given it loads of chops because it was getting far too big for its boots, and I really want to eventually make this like a really filled out mixed pot of this brother sort of plant. And so I have taken some propagations of those. Maybe I'll just put the Sophie Cecile cutting in the same vessel as these, because I water prop them both, and so then I would only have one sort of vessel to worry about, I think. Behind it, my begonia baramensis, if I can pull it out, has given me quite a large leaf in here. Look at that. The newest leaf after that isn't quite as big, but it's getting to the point where I don't think I'm gonna be able to keep it in this container for much longer in this little terrarium box, the planted window, just because it is so tall. So I think I only have 1 more leaf for it in this space. Also, it's dusty. Ignore that. Just look at it from this angle, you can't tell. But I think I'll only have 1 more leaf on it before I'll have to either chop and prop it or take it out of this space. But I really, really like it in here. I feel like it frames it really nicely, because this is such a fun, funky begonia. I've also not watered this one basically at all in the time I've had it, and it just stays moist in there because it's a sealed container. It's kind of like having it in no drainage, but in soil instead of semi-hydro, which is what I would normally put it. But it seems to be very fine in there. Oh, is that a, yeah, there's a leaf there that I should probably take out so it doesn't just grow moldy. But one of the old leaves is in there and has come off, but the 3 leaves that it does have are just stunning. The Calathea network is doing okay in semi-hydro. It did have a bit of sort of leaf loss right at the beginning. Actually, there is some yellowing in there, you can see. But for the most part, it is kind of the smaller leaves. I don't think they're new growth leaves that are yellowing away, but I think it's okay in here. It does look like it is rooting. I mean, I do think I should probably fill it up. The water level's about there, but I think it likes it. This is the first time I've ever put a calathea into semi-hydro and no drainage. Both of those things were new for this plant, but it's doing really, really well, and it doesn't seem to be like dehydrated or unhappy in this space. This isn't a location that gets all that much light, especially now that I've got the Mandula pothos here, because it kind of blocks the light from the cabinet, and so it doesn't get much. And I think for this one it's absolutely fine. I know calatheas are more tolerant to lower light, and so I think it's fine. I should probably dust it though. It's feeling a little bit dusty. I should dust all my plants. I haven't done that in a while, but I'm just glad that it didn't immediately die, because that was kind of my worry with swapping it from soil to semi-hydro, that it might just like go kaput, because I know they are really like sensitive plants. Okay, there's actually loads going on inside of the cabinet again. I feel like it's suddenly gotten super full again. Things are just growing really well, which is great, but also kind of stressful, because there's a lot. But I guess first up over here, my variegated, oh, that's a very unvariegated, variegated leaf of my variegated Plummonii is putting out a new leaf over here, which is exciting. And it looks like there is some decent variegation on that. It seems to be absolutely fine on the moss pole. So I am thinking that it's okay with being in here. I think potentially the light's not quite bright enough for it to like give great variegation, because it was giving really, really nice variegation down the bottom here when it was under brighter light constantly. The grow light I have in here, it's just one of the fluorescent ones, and it's not the brightest of lights. And the only reason I am still using these fluorescent ones is because I have them. And like once they burn out, I'll stop using it, but like it'd be a waste to buy new grow lights when these ones work perfectly fine. They're not perfect, but they work, you know? Like it just doesn't feel like, it would feel like a waste to get rid of them, if that makes sense. Here, we've got a new leaf on my Alocasia Silver Dragon, and it's got the tiniest little piece of sport variegation in there, which is really cute. But I love how pillowy these leaves look. This is the biggest leaf this one's actually ever given me, so feeling very, very proud of it. But I love, like, it's so matte and pillowy. I just feel like I could sleep on that and be comfortable, which is crazy. My Anturo Velvet has kind of just all gone facing the light, which kind of makes sense. But oh my gosh, it's so black. I feel like this is probably one of my absolute blackest plants. I should add it to my goth plants video. Obviously I can't add it onto the old one, but I'll make a new goth plants video at some point, and this one will certainly be going in it. Behind there, got a couple of anthuriums that are doing really well, just popping out new growth quite regularly. I think this leaf back here is new. It's still hardening off. It's a little bit sad, but I am contemplating getting rid of my Begonia Clio here. I don't like it all that much. I think I'm not as big of a fan of rhizomaceous / Rex begonias. Like, it is cool, and like I love these velvety leaves, but I think cane begonias are more my style, and this one just hasn't been growing amazingly for me since I put it into semi-hydro, and it's been giving me stress more than anything else. So like I feel like I'd kind of rather say goodbye to it almost. Ooh, I mean, I guess that's a good thing. I suppose I can sell it, I guess, or swap it or something in the future. Down the bottom, I think it's time, you know, I'm gonna do that right after this video. I think it's time to take my Paleonia Repens out of the cabinet, like permanently, because it's just gotten so big. I just can't, like, it's taking up far too much space at this point. Let me see if I can take it off one-handed. Or is this going to be a bad idea? Oh, skills. Oh my goodness, and now I have more room. Yeah, it was like really blocking off the Jacqueline, and now I can like put more stuff in this corner. Like I can spread things out a little bit along the top so they're not as jam-packed. My Alocasia Jacqueline to be honest, I think it's also time to come out of the cabinet because you can see how tall it is and how much burn it's giving itself by physically touching the light. But it has just given me this new leaf that's unfurling, and it's not done sizing off yet, so hopefully it is a nice big one. I think this leaf is gonna be done soon, but it's doing really well in there. The big leaf, oh, that leaf spike is coming off the big leaf, so I think it's gonna be another big one. So if it is, I feel like it will be time for me to take this one out of the cabinet as well, and that will give me loads more room too. Holy cow, I like having the Paleonia in there. It made it really hard to see just how well things are doing, but like look at the side. Oh, I'm gonna have to pull it out because it's hard to show. Like, look at those. They're growing so well. It's so happy in here, just in like a little bit of soil. And I mean, it's growing kind of crazy runners at the minute, but I feel like I could almost chop them off and continue to try and grow it a little bit bushier. But there's gonna be more space for it now that the Paleonia is out of here. Oh my goodness, another Mayari update. This is the one cutting that I didn't pot up because it wasn't quite ready, but it has just put out this leaf, which is so beautiful and like pretty much fully white. That leaf was the leaf that was like it came from, and this is all new growth here. So I have to think that this must be rooting okay. I don't see any, but I'll pull it out probably soon and check if it's got roots. If it does have roots, I'll probably just pot it up with the other one in there. But oh my gosh, it is just stunning. I'm also extremely obsessed with this leaf on my variegated dragon scale alocasia. It is so nice. Y'all know I love a dragon scale. My big dragon scale is amazing, but this one is doing phenomenally, and it has just put out a new leaf here as well, which doesn't seem as variegated, but like that's okay. It doesn't need to be super duper variegated for me to love it. I just think sectoral variegation is some of my favorite types, and so any sort of plant with sectoral variegation, I'm absolutely here for it. What is this? Oh my gosh, my bisma as well. This is the newest leaf on my alocasia bisma, and like, what? It is growing like crazy. What's this? Oh my god. Holy cow, this is my, oh my god, it is. It's my green unicorn. That's grown insanely. Also, I probably touched the grow light for a little bit too long there when it was unfurling, but this leaf is like so high up compared to the other ones. Like the other leaf is all the way down there. Crazy. Things are just doing phenomenally in here. I'm very happy with things. Oh, I want to take out my banana plant, my Musa Florida. This leaf has just unfurled on it, and it is so pretty. It's still sizing up. You can see it's much lighter green and like more translucent than the previous leaf, but I love this one so much. I cannot wait until it gets really big. I think it's going to be a beautiful plant. This is another one that I could possibly put into the bedroom because it is pet safe, because banana plants, musas, are non-toxic to cats, so maybe I could put it in there, but I feel like this is a better environment for it more long term. I don't really have tons of space I could put it into the bedroom with. Maybe once it's a little bit bigger, because I feel like right now the size of the leaves are very like Cosmo friendly, Cosmo edible, whereas once it gets a bit bigger, I don't think he'll be as interested in it, hopefully. So that's definitely a one day type of thing. If I can get it to grow a little bit bigger, that would be awesome. And then everything else in here is kind of just chilling, doing really well. Nothing like crazy exciting, but like just growing slowly but surely, which is great. Also, this area is getting pretty massive. My Gaggiana just keeps putting out leaves, and they're huge. Like, look at that. It is amazing. I'm pretty sure I've got some new growth as well. Yeah, on my Bird of Paradise back there. And then also my Portadora is insanely big, and it is in the 2-leaf club, which is okay. The other leaf is just here, but it's really big, and maybe this one's pregnant a little bit, but this space is just fully filled out, which is really nice. Also, quick Cleo update. She's doing really well. She's probably mad at me for waking her up, but she's doing really fantastic. She's being a really good big sister to Cosmo, the best she can, but having a little nap now, which is very much needed. So you know how the bedroom was really empty? The office is now mega full. I've got 3 huge moss poles just in here that don't normally exist in this space, in addition to our laundry, excuse that. But basically, when Cosmo proofing, I needed to get all of the plants that were toxic away from like accessible areas. And so things like my Rhaphidophora tetrasperma here, which is doing fantastically. I think it's a tiny bit dry at the minute. I've had it behind a sheet of plastic, so I've not really been able to like access it properly. So it's a little bit dry, but I did recently chop off all of the stems at the top, and those are actually currently propagating in the bathroom. I'll show you in a little bit because I've got some other plants in there right now too, but chopped everything off, and I think I'm going to add them in back at the bottom because I have lost several leaves from down there. It is looking a little bit sparse at the bottom, and just to like refill out the pole a little bit, I think it would look really nice, a bit more filled up. So I took that one out, and then obviously my Glorious, which is the pole taller than me, is doing really well though. It's not getting the best light in here. None of these things are like permanently in this spot, but for now it will do. It's definitely got some new growth on it, you can see there, and it's just really tall. And then in the back you can kind of see, maybe you can't see it all. Can you? Can I? There we go. Back there. You can't really see it, but my Cebu Blue on a pole is back there and doing fine. Nothing that special about it. The Alocasia on the desk are doing phenomenally. My Mitchellitiana, my... oh my god. Oh my god, I can't remember it. But the Dragon's Breath. What's it called? I feel like it starts with an H. I don't know. I'll pop out on the screen. And then my Polly's just popped out a couple new leaves. This leaf is new. There's another new leaf coming out there at the minute. Really, like, doing good things here. Joe finds them really annoying on his desk, but I don't have any other space for them at the moment. Like, I don't have any big space. And because his desk goes up and down, it's a standing desk, one of those, like, electric ones. I can't put anything proper tall on this space because when he puts it into like standing position, our ceilings are not that high, and so I couldn't put like a moss pole on there because it would just like hit the ceiling and kind of be an issue. So it is what it is, but it's fine. I am loving, loving, loving this corner now. Let me turn the light off so you can see better. Is that better? I think so. But I love this adjustment that I have made. Honestly, my allocations in this room are just popping off. The Stingray, like look at the size of that. That is freaking huge. And the Rhaphidophora tetrasperma, this one, can you see that up there? Yeah. The other one, can you tell? Oh, this might be a good idea to show the difference in like sort of leaf size and form and stuff, so you can kind of see the difference. My one on the pole is a little bit bigger. Obviously that makes sense because it's on a pole, but even from the start the leaves were similar size, whereas these ones at the top, they're definitely more fenestrated. There's like 5 or 6 fenestrations on each leaf as opposed to 3 on this one. I don't know, it's very different, but I think it's interesting to compare. I don't think I'll ever join those two, even though they're like the same plant. I don't think I'll join them because they are still so different. On the shelves here, we've got my Florida Ghost propagations going. I swear this one, yeah, there's some root growth going on in the sphagnum moss one, which is awesome. I don't think I've seen any root growth. Oh, some new growth. I'm trying to pop out through the hole there. I should probably push that away from there because I don't really want it growing through that side because I'll have to cut the pot. So I don't see any root growth, but new growth happening in there, so it seems to be happy enough. It's hard to look at the root growth on that without pulling out the cuttings, and I'm not going to do that. And then the ones in water, again, some new growth happening. A lot of the nodes are sort of getting those sort of like crystally roots. I'm pretty sure those are the starts of roots. Either that or it's like weird crystallization, but either way, there's still some rootage going on. So all three are doing quite well. I wasn't expecting them all to be doing so well at once, but I'm happy with it. I really messed up on my Aeschynanthus bolero bicolor. Oh my gosh, look at all those falling leaves. I'm just dropping. I need to pick these up off the floor after this. But really, I've let it get way too dry up there. This is not my ideal spot for it, like for this reason, but it was doing so well before this. So hopefully now that I've watered it and I can clear off all of these like really droppy leaves, then we can kind of get back in there with some good new growth. And oh my goodness, the euphorbia back there, it's got 2 new growth points on it. They're so cute. Oh, I love new growth on euphorbias. I think it's amazing. Down the bottom here on my Alocasia Ninja, we've got a nice new leaf coming out. It looks like a good big sized one, which is awesome. And also, oh my gosh, I'm just obsessed with this begonia at the minute. The begonia Black Forest. It is grown so well for me and so beautifully. Like, look at those leaves. They're just stunning. I love it, and I love how dark and gothic it is, and just so pretty. Oh yeah, also the Ernestii, which I put in here to fill in this gap. It's been really enjoying the grow light. It is normally on, but for filming, it's easier with it off. But I think it's liking this spot, and I think I'm liking these sort of, I don't even know what you call them, self-watering things that I tried in a previous video, especially for the front opening moss poles. I find them really difficult to put cups in, and so having something that's just I can stick inside, it kind of holds it in a little bit nicer, and it's just generally slightly better for this sort of thing, and it's like easier to strap in as well. Like I only need to have one of the opening things open, the other ones can be attached, and so it's secure in there. And I think it's doing really well. It's definitely slowly sizing up, which is awesome. And I'm just, every now and then, I probably should do it for this one here, I'm just taking the front opening bit and like popping that around this to like close it in and attach it, or help it attach to the pole. Oh, also, oh my gosh. Let me pull this out, it'll be easier to show you. My Begonia Arabian Sunset, I still have some of the top cuttings, but the bottom section, look at all that new growth that's come in. It's not been very long at all. I'll pop on the screen how long it's been, but it's already popping out quite a bit of new growth, which is awesome. And I'm still debating whether or not I want to keep this one, but like it's hard to not keep it when it looks so stinking cute in there. Like why would I not want to have that? I feel like I'm probably gonna end up keeping this as opposed to the top cuttings. And then finally we have the cactus cabinet, the Rudsta. I think August time, or maybe end of this month, I will finally be dismantling this fully. I do need to find places for the big cacti, because I don't really have easy spots for them, but I am going to be getting rid of some of these smaller cacti, not the baby cactus or the like pencil one next to it. I think I'll mostly be keeping everything within this frame, and then things on this side I'd be more willing to give away, and then I can use this as another cabinet, which could be really useful, and I could use it for tall things, like really tall alocasias and stuff. I think that would be more useful to me than as a cactus cabinet. Though I don't know where I'm going to put these. I'll have to find a better place for them to exist. Maybe I'll install a grow light somewhere, I'm just not sure. And then finally into the bathroom. I do have a couple things in here. Same with the office. This is not permanent. These are not under quarantine or anything. They just, I don't have space for them elsewhere right this second. And the bathroom is an easy door that I can close. So I've got my Monstera dubia, which is honestly doing amazing. Obviously it's not doing amazing in this spot, It was doing amazing before, and in this spot it will just tolerate. It's actually losing that leaf up there as well from me just like adjusting things with it. It doesn't like that. We know it doesn't like that. So that kind of sucks, but it's fine. And then got the Philodendron Splendid in here on its extended moss pole. Just doing fine. And then this was the giant bucket of Raphidophora cuttings that I was talking about, and they are starting to root in there, which is good. I don't exactly know what I'm going to do with them. Definitely putting some of them into the mother plant at the bottom would be a good idea, but like long term, like I don't think I'll need all of them really. So that is it. Those are all of the exciting updates that I've got going on in my collection right now. Like, as you can see, it's pretty overwhelmingly positive. I know there's a lot going on, and I'm definitely still working on trying to reduce my stress. But aside from a bit of underwatering, which, I mean, is kind of inevitable with a chronic underwater during a heat wave, it's gonna happen. So aside from that, things are growing pretty well, and as long as I keep going on my sort of decluttering journey and continue to try and reduce, I think, the number of plants in my collection, I should be fine. It'll all be okay. I just need to remind myself that. It'll all be okay. Before I go, though, I want to say a huge thank you to the newest members of my Good Growing fam over on Patreon, Danny and Hey Moon. I hope you love it over there and enjoy all the bonus content, from like exclusive videos to live chats, polls where you get to pick the videos that I post, access to the Discord server, that's a fun one, and like the sort of planty Patreon community that we have in my Good Growing fam, and like you get to meet loads of people. It's great, and you have more access to me, and I'm much more responsive over there. Sorry for not responding if you're not on my Patreon. I get overwhelmed, all right? But if anyone else is interested in joining, it is £3 a month, and the link is down below in the description. And yeah, it's there if you want it. Otherwise, don't worry about it. You here watching this video, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up down below and leave a comment on other houseplanty things you'd like me to talk about in the future. If there's anything that I touched on in this video that you want more on, let me know, and I can hopefully make that for you if I haven't already. And subscribe for more. Again, thank you very much. I hope you're having a fantastic day, and I will see you in the next one. Don't forget to keep growing. Bye!